Hi everyone, this is the second part of the 20th anniversary video. In the previous video, I talked about the past, now I'm going to talk about the present. I'm not going to bomb you with all those fancy features this game has. That will take hours. And many of my previous videos over the years have already mentioned some of them. The game's wiki also has many of them documented. In this video, I'm just going to talk about some numbers and data about the game's current state. First, about playtime. As an open world game with a lot of freedom, it's quite hard to measure. Last year, there was a test on how fast a player can speedrun through to the end of Chapter 2. That was about 20 hours. Of course, a single sample can't tell much. So, here is the data provided to me by Steam. It is quite strange, right? In a mathematical sense. But I have no reason to doubt Gap's accuracy. So, let's make sense of it. The average time played is the total playtime by all players divided by the number of players. The number is amazing compared to other RPG Maker games on Steam. As I know, some people haven't played much yet. That also means the game potentially has provided tens of thousands of hours of entertainment to entire humanity and maybe everyone else who also plays this game. The median time played is 43 minutes. That means at least half of the players have not played more than 43 minutes. That's unfortunate, but here is the anomalous part. How a game with 43 minutes of median time played can achieve 9 hours of average playtime. That means players who can get through the very first 43 minutes will find a lot of fun to play this game a lot later on. Every one of them then played a lot to carry the number. I don't have the exact data here, but on my Steam friend list, I just found someone who played the game for more than 1040 hours. Not sure if that's the longest playtime in the world. If that is, maybe they can have a Guinness World Record for them. After all, there are all kinds of bizarre records out there now. Well, seriously speaking, Guinness World Record is a complete joke nowadays. I will let full arms and hog tell you that. And if someone who developed a game for less than 20 years somehow can get a record for the longest update game, I will likely not even bother to argue with them. I will probably just sue them right away. After all, I also have a lawyer's license, just so you know. Sorry, I digress. The point is, just like getting into a supernatural world, at the beginning it's hard. The game does not have fancy graphics. Some may complain the art style is inconsistent in this supernatural world. Some may find some battles are hard if they want to solve everything by brute force. And there are so many different ways to solve problems, and sometimes people may get lost. That is actually the hardest part. Unlike many games want to show you their best part in the first 5 minutes, here you will find everything ugly behind the veil. First, right in the airport. Next, about the world. From the zombie apocalypse in an American town in the mountains in the first chapter, to the struggle of stopping a group of ancient atom contests from bringing the end of the world into different realities of Egypt in the second chapter. Now we have reached the third chapter, where our protagonist is investigating the Nis Federation An entire anomalous nation bleeding into our reality from all previous iteration of the game. Only it has been a long time since the previous stories that took place in that Stone Age. As the biggest chapter so far, many characters have returned to tell the tales of what happened after, and some may be here to bring the end. Additionally, we also have other locations, such as a town in Shanghai, China, which seems quite normal on the surface, where shadows lurk beneath its normal facade. In Siberia, a covert operation is also underway behind the enemy lines. Well, the story has been changed based on real-world events many times. As I may also be the only indie game developer in China who announced my support to Ukraine since the day Putin invaded Ukraine, you know what I mean. The game itself contains a side project of mine that updates the latest news from Ukraine every day, using the game itself to break through all the censorship. It has been a while. More than 810 days to be exactly. Sorry, I digressed again. It's just I have so many stories to tell about this game. But anyway, so far we have more than 200 locations to explore with an additional infinite amount of procedurally generated dungeons. Of course, an open world can't just have those locations. It needs content. Otherwise, it will feel as empty as some of the planets in Starfield. That will not do. So I also put in a massive amount of content. It's hard to measure content, so I'm going to give you something we can measure. Simply, let's see how many words we have in the game's localization files. It's more than 300k words at the moment of recording in English. Well, we also have 2 other Chinese languages supported all by myself. You can also find how I count them. It's a simple Windows PowerShell script on the right side to scan the entire localization folder. That does not even count all the in-game documents, those in-game books you can find and read, such as foundation files yet. But you get the idea how massive the game story is. What else? Let's go to the game's wiki pages. The game's wiki currently has 88 pages. Hey look, we already have more pages than Age of Wonder Planetfall. Oh well, I jest. They mainly use Paradox Wiki, so that does not count. But anyway, I've documented about 40 item prefixes to make each weapon or equipment unique, more than 50 food recipes, and a lot of quests. Some of them are manually scripted based on events and variables, and the others are procedurally generated from the quest templates I coded. That's how this world is right now, and I'm keeping going forward from here. Thank you for watching. The next video will be about the future.